Everybody, welcome to another episode of SpeakuP Monday. So SpeakuP Monday, destination Indonesia. Now tonight we have an amazing guest again, beautiful girl, great friend. Haven't spoken to her like this for, I think, forever. So Anastasiya, welcome to the show, my darling.
Thank you so much for having me.
Super welcome. Now, as you know, SpeakuP Monday is an award-winning, deep dive, open format Q&A, and it's award-winning for motivation. So what happens is it's two people getting to know each other, and out of that comes some gems because, as a good friend of mine, Richard Harrington says, inspiration isn't taught, it's caught. So inspiration isn't taught, it's caught. So in other words, by listening, this is one way to listen to other people's stories, to listen to other people's challenges, how they overcame them, maybe how they're still trying to overcome them, right? We have insights into what makes us tick as people and insights into perhaps, what is the next step for me to take in order to get to the place where I'm trying to get to, right? So watching SpeakuP Monday and shows like this gives you that insight, right? So now tonight, if you're maybe an artist or that artist within you, maybe you're already doing it for a living. Maybe it's something that you're doing in your spare time. Maybe it's something which you have this artistic streak within you. You know that there's something that's trying to get out, but you don't know how or you don't know where to start. Tonight is going to be a really good episode for you. Or maybe you're already there and you're already doing work and you're overseas somewhere and maybe you're stuck or maybe you're in need of some inspiration. So this will be a great episode for you to watch. And one thing which I'm really happy about as well is that, so SpeakuP Monday is about two things. One is that people inspire people. So people inspire people. And the other one, as we're here in beautiful Bali, Island of the Gods in Indonesia, is Bhinneka Tunggal Ika, which is unity in diversity. So unity in diversity. So what this means is that regardless of who we're talking to, whether you're from Crimea, whether you're from England, London, Portugal, Bali, we have things in common, things that make us human. These things are we want to be loved for who we are. We want to be fulfilled in what we're doing. Things like this. This is the unity in diversity piece. And then finally, my name is Robert Ian Bonnick. I'm an advisor. I help businesses, entrepreneurs, and leaders turn their story into impact and income. Impact and income using media, using a whole variety of different modalities based upon what you need. But it's always about that, working with conscious entrepreneurs, leaders, businesses who really want to put themselves out there and be recognized for being the leader in their niche. So without further ado, welcome to SpeakuP Monday, Anastasia.
Thank you so much.
Now before I was trying to pronounce your surname, right?
Yeah.
So let me see.
Again.
I'll try again. Is it Otkidach?
Otkidach.
Otkidach.
Yeah.
Lovely.
Good. Yeah.
Otkidach.
Otkidach. Yeah.
Yes. Okay. Now, so there's something about your surname though. There's something about the name. What does it mean and where does it come from?
Okay. I actually never searched before, and then once. I think not close friend, but still friend asked me what's your surname means? And I was like, no, I have no idea. He was like, why you never checked? I was like, okay, I will. So I went online and I started searching. And as you know, I do photography all my life. So my last name means the trigger, or on the gun, or on the camera.
Wow.
And I was literally shocked. I was like, oh my, and I figured out that a couple of years ago only. So it's like a destiny or something, you know? It's amazing.
You know, one of the interesting things that keeps coming out in different guests that we have, right, is this connectivity, this connection, you know, that we all have. And, you know, like hearing that about your surname and the trigger camera, and obviously, you know, you're an incredible artist, and that's in all outlets, photography, art, painting, drawing, and so on. You know, like, but where did it start for you? So where did you know that what I love to do is to express myself in an artistic way? Like, when did it start?
Well, actually, it started from like 5 years. When I was 5 years old, it started there. Even maybe 4. At 4, I really wanted to dance, and I went to ballet. And actually, I was a ballerina, and I became prima. And 6 years, I was prima ballerina, but have some traumas. End up not in a good way. You know, all the ballet. It's like a tough sport. But I was taking pictures from 5 years old. Yeah, I figure out like what camera is and how it's working. My grandfather explained me everything, and since then, like for me, photography was a magic. Mm-hmm. You know, you just you push the button, and you capture the moment, and this is incredible. And like in this moment, like right now, in 21st century, whatever, we actually don't pay attention for that. It was like, yeah, the picture, but actually just think about it. You catch the moment forever. This is magic. So for me, it was like, I was shocked. I was impressed. For me, it was like, oh my God. Yeah, so since then, I was crazy about photography. But my mom brought me to a special school in Crimea, where you should or draw or dance or sing, and if you don't have any skills, I mean, they can grow the skills, but sometimes just kids don't want to do anything, you know. So if you don't want to do anything, you can go to the school. And I literally wanted to do everything. Like, it was impossible to stop me. I was busy all the time. Yeah, so it was a lot of fun at that time.
You know, like, so you talk about capturing a moment.
Yep.
Now you mentioned, you know, about, you know, the ballerina to prima ballerina. There was some trauma there. So let's talk about capturing that moment. So when you said trauma, because you know I'm going to ask you. So maybe you don't. Anyway, welcome to Speak on Monday. We go deep. We go deep.
Okay.
We go deep. Right. So trauma. What did you mean? Like,
I mean physically.
So what happened?
I jumped and my partner didn't catch me, and I tore like all my left part of my body. All ligaments was tore, like completely fucked.
Wow.
Like, yeah. And I didn't break any bone, but you know, the torn ligaments, it's worse. It's better you broke the bone.
Yeah.
And I didn't do any surgery in anything, so it grew in the way, like, I don't know, just a random way.
Yeah.
So it's still, I have some trouble with my body, and you know, my left knee can go for a walk sometimes, like separately. You just walk, and then your knee just like, okay, I want to go the other way, and it's like, okay.
You know what comes up? So it was your partner was male, right?
Of course.
Okay,
yeah.
cool. So question, right? So how old were you when that happened?
I was, I think, 12.
12. So now, question. So was there anything that happened as a result of that? So let me give you an example. So quite often now when we're young, you know, we have these experiences which are quite dominant and quite powerful for us at the time. And then we make decisions about the world, right? So if I'm walking down the street, and maybe I walk across the street and I get hit by a car, and I break my leg. I don't break the tendon. I break my leg. Now, depending what mindset I go in with, maybe if I have a negative view of the world, then my mindset might be something like, you know what? They're out to get me. I can't even walk across the road without someone coming for me, right? I'm under attack. It's not safe, right? Or the same thing happened, but maybe I have a different mindset. I have an optimistic mindset. So maybe I walk across the road and I get hit and I think, you know what? I'm still alive. This is a miracle.
Yeah.
I didn't push the button. I didn't even look. Someone is looking out for me, right? This is, you know, I feel blessed. Same thing happened, but two completely different outcomes. And if you follow those outcomes through, determines who the person becomes. And we all have those friends, right? The ones who are always thinking that someone or something is always out to get them, right? We know these people. We've all got the friends. Be honest, you know you have.
Yeah, of course.
Right? And then we've got those who stuff happens to, but like it's like water off a duck's back, meaning it doesn't stick. It's like these guys and girls, they just move effortlessly through life.
Yeah.
Right? So now let's go back to the age of 12 when this happened. So is there anything that you made up maybe about trusting men or something like that after that happened?
No, actually before. Like I had like a really, really tough childhood. So I didn't trust the man. Like you really go deep, yeah? Okay. Yeah, I really didn't trust the man from the beginning. Like my brother was very jealous and he was literally trying to kill me all my childhood. And he's older. And he was like choking me with a pillow, like locking me in a cupboard or something without the light, like trying to sell me, for example, or exchange me for a knife to a guy on the street, like really. And my father never shared the love as well, and I saw him like for like couple days per 6 months. So, and he never was like lovable, you know. He's like, don't touch me, don't, and very tough guy. So I actually used to, you know, fight for myself. And they used to bully me together, my father and my brother. So I used to, you know, protect, and I never saw anything in the childhood, anything good from a man. So for me, the man was something that always trying to, you know, bully you, do something bad to you. Like it's always danger, and you like, you know. So I didn't trust from the beginning. Wow. That's the issue. Yeah. And then my partner didn't catch me, and I was like, okay.
Now I definitely can't trust men.
Definitely cannot, yeah.
Men are often, I may as well become it anyway. We're going sexually, you know what I was about to say. I'm not going to say it, but you know. So then, like, did you process that? Like, you can trust men now?
No. I kind of on the way still. I work a lot with my mindset. I read a lot of psychology books. Like I'm really working on all this because I'm very into how mind work, and I'm really into psychology. And I just, you know, it's just interesting for me. So yeah, I was trying to figure out how everything working inside me. So I was working with all these issues by myself. But I cannot say like I'm succeed. I'm still, you know.
Still working it out.
But I'm already not like scaring. I can be open and everything, but I'm always ready. So right now I'm more like a warrior. You know, like I was before as well, but right now I really can punch.
you know, because like what, you know, so we know some of the tough stuff that came out of that, you know, but there's stuff that you learned that you're probably very thankful for. So you mentioned about being a strong woman, right? So so what would you say is the good things that came out of, or the things that you brought out, and you look back and say, you know what, thank you, because you gave me, or that experience gave me that?
Honestly, I would never change anything from my childhood. Yeah. I am actually, like, in general, I'm an annoyingly happy person. Like in the big picture, like sometimes I can be, you know, sad and everything, but mostly of the time I'm just happy, and I'm super grateful for everything that happened in my childhood, because right now I'm like that. Maybe if my father would be like, oh, you my princess, blah, 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 you know, maybe I would never like went to different country when I was 18, or, you know, like, or everything I've done, like I did so many nuts things, like crazy. And it was because I believe that I can. And I'm like that only because of these things happen. So all of them, I'm just happy. Even ballet, I wasn't super sad for a long time. I was sad, but I never was like, this is your fault, you didn't catch me. I was like, even at that age, I already was like, okay, I like photography. Maybe I need to concentrate on this, you know.
And as you said, right, so that part of you, you know, so as I grew up, kids' homes and all the rest of that, there was part of me that that it was annoying. Still is, to a certain extent, right? Be quiet, Marina, don't say anything. Still is, like, it's,
no one watching.
You know, no one's watching, we're fine. You know, like, the thing is that, you know, there's this part of me inside, because as a kid, I believed that I was born alone, and I was in the world alone, and I would die alone. So what would happen is that there was this part of me that, even though I was an introverted extrovert, came later, but introverted extrovert, like, there was part of me that no one could ever get to. And it was like this part that I kept so hidden and so well protected that I would be annoyingly annoying, you know. So, like, my ex-business partner, well, we're still business partners, really. Antonio, if you're watching this is for you, brother. Incredible guy, but, you know, like, there will be times where he's a very powerful personality, and we'd have these arguments or these discussions, and then he would just, like, say, you know what, just do what you're going to do. Because he knew that at the end of the day, you can hit me, not physically, but with words, you know, to try and convince me. But at the end of the day, I'm still going to do what I feel like I need to do, right? And I won't be led, and that gave me that. But in relationship, it's tough, because if I didn't manage to relinquish or to bring that in and to love it for what it was, then I wouldn't be able to get close to my partner. I wouldn't be able to be intimate in that period, for that period of time, right? So when it comes to relationships. So for you, with relationships, you know, like, what do you think has held you back, and what do you think that situation helped?
In relationship?
Yeah.
Oh my God, I'm so not good with a relationship. I'm gonna be honest. I'm very, very, okay, my mom taught me that I have to be selfish.
Yeah.
She taught me this from the childhood. I have an incredible mom. Like, I'm so lucky. We never fight, in, like, even once.
Yeah.
And I call her every day and I say I love you, like, every day. And she is the best thing in my life. Best person, best creature, whatever it is. This is the purest energy that I know. And she just taught me that you have to be selfish, and she's not. And I'm like, Mama, how you can teach me something that you don't believe, actually? But somehow I get it. And she explained me that whatever I want to do, I have to do that. And I can go where I want, I can do whatever I want, and she just always going to be near. And that's it, but you can do whatever you want. So I am really selfish, and it's not healthy for relationship, because if I wanna, I don't know, pack my stuff and leave the country and go to New York and do exhibition, and I'm in relationship, and I'll be like, I'm sorry, but I'm going to exhibition. And he will be like, oh, you can leave me right now, I miss you, I'm, you know. And it's very complicated to find a person who can, how to say that? I don't have perfect English, but like tight you, you know. And I don't want this relationship. I don't want to be tight with the person. You still can have, like, I believe that you still can have, like, healthy relationship without this, because you can admire the person, you know, like, she succeeds, she's doing something that she believes in, you know, and he's happy about that. And I know only one person who's like this, and he's my best friend. You know him, Mark. Yes. Mark, I love you.
So Mr. Baker, like incredible human being.
Yeah, he is like that. He's my best friend. But he is exactly like that. He's like, he would never tight me ever. And he will help me always. He will push me. He will be like, yeah, I will take care of this. I will take your dog, whatever you need, just go. Yeah. Just shine, just do your thing, you know. And I want a man like that. Next to me. I want someone to believe in me like this and trust me and be like, yeah, go. I'll be just here. I will do my thing. But yeah, so I don't have any good advice about relationship or something like that. I'm so bad in this. And I always choose myself. Always. I never choose the other person. I tried, I really did, and I didn't succeed, so I ran to Bali. That's how I'm here. So
let's continue that, right? So this part of you that's fiercely independent.
Yeah.
And by the way, right, so with relationship, my feeling is this. So you can be interdependent. So it's like a vision. So imagine that you've got like an horizon.
Yeah.
And maybe it's sunrise.
Yeah.
Okay, and the sun's coming up. And there's two of you, yourself and your partner, and you're walking towards the sunrise.
Yeah.
And so you're both on separate but parallel paths.
Yeah.
And you're holding hands.
Okay.
That's the first vision. The second vision is that same backdrop,
Yep.
but you're not walking forwards. You're facing each other and you're banging your heads together.
Yeah.
So here's a difference. So the first one.
I like the first one.
Yeah, there you go. So the first one, I love that. The first one is interdependence, meaning you are interdependent. I don't need my partner. She doesn't, or he or she doesn't need me for my existence. Right?
Yeah, exactly. I love
that. Yeah. But we choose to be together.
Yeah.
So the holding of hands signifies that choice that we make every day, but it's a choice that we make, and by being interdependent, it's like we support one another to be our best. Whereas the second one is what relationships can turn into, which is that like it's this dependency and this I want to control you, I want to which is what most relationships that I've come
so far,
a lot of relationships have been like, but you can get to the other place, is what I'm saying. And I've seen it, and that's what I practice with Marina, even though we have kids. But obviously, like she's my partner in life, in business and everything, right? But we are interdependent in many ways, right? So she does her thing, I do my thing. We do combine things as well. And sometimes that you can. So sometimes that creates its own challenges too. However, for me, I think that's a much healthier view of a relationship. So just on that relationship thing that popped up for me. So let's take this part of you through, right? So you're this independent woman who grew up in Crimea, and we'll get to that in a second.
Yeah.
You had the male figures in your life weren't really giving you much love, let's be honest, or they were showing it in a completely different way.
Oh yeah.
Let's put it like that.
Very weird way.
Very different way to what people normally expect. So with this independence, this fierce independence that you had, now you've been to many countries, right? So can you give us a breakdown on where you've been? I want people to get an idea of how far you've taken this.
Okay, that's not easy. I've been in Thailand many times, Egypt, Jordan, Israel, almost all Europe. I mean, more than half, let's say that, like France, Italy, Spain, Croatia, Montenegro, Poland, Czech Republic, a lot. Germany, Austria, just half of Europe, more than half. Then I spent some time living in US, in California. We like talking living or just visiting?
Either, both.
Okay, so New York, I live in Hawaii a little bit, amazing. Oh my God, what else? Yeah, it's complicated. It's a lot. Malaysia and just a lot.
So here's the thing, right? So being an artist, right? Salvador Dali was one of my favorite artists, right? Which I don't speak about very often at all. Far out. There you go. But there have been many, but Salvador Dali is one that stuck out for me. Now, from what I can see and understand, like my partner Marina, she's an artist. She works with fashion, but she's an artist in all ways. But here's the thing, like inspiration. As I said in the beginning, Richard Harrington, great guy, thank you for that one. Inspiration is usually caught, not taught. So caught, not taught.
Yeah.
So all the places that you've been, which have been a lot.
Oh yeah.
Right.
And all of them have crazy stories.
Right.
Never come. I never just go for a tourism 5-star hotel. No.
Yeah. Well, we're going to get into one of those in a minute. So then, whatever comes into your mind first, keeping all those things in mind, what inspired you the most, and why?
From the places.
Yeah. Whichever comes up. There's lots of places.
Okay, Egypt.
Why?
Because from 11 years old, I stopped watching the news and TV. And I had no idea what's going on in the world. And in age 20, I think. I'm not sure. I'm really lost in numbers. I decided that I want to go, like tomorrow I want to go to Egypt. It was just like that. I used to be like that. I used to walk with a passport for traveling because you like, you never know. And I decided to go there, but I didn't check the news. So when I arrived there, it was a revolution there. And like, yeah, funny, but not funny at all. Like, thank God I arrived to Sharm el-Sheikh, not to Cairo, because there was like really bad. In Sharm el-Sheikh was more calm, but when I arrived, like in a, couple hours, they closed the airport. Like people was killing each other in the middle of the desert. Like I was hiding in the hub with the Bedouins in the desert.
With the Bedouin, yeah?
It was amazing. I mean, it was terrible, but we're growing from these traumas and this type of experience. And if you're very familiar with my art, it's all a little bit dark. And I really like to work with the dark side because I believe that dark side, it's the most interesting thing. In the light, it's easy to see things. Try to see something in the dark. And I really love to work with the dark side. So the best thing that I created, it's always after experience like that, after you got trauma or shocked or something. And I never will forget, like one guy killed other guy with a knife, like just in front of my eyes, just cut this throat, and I was just freezing like that. But I never freak out. I don't know why. I can't say like I'm guru, but I was just born like this. And and I was just like, super calm, and I was like, okay, you have to get out from here. Just do something. Don't panic. You can do after, you can do all this emotional thing after. Mm-hmm. So yeah, I managed my emotion in a very young age. But so this is one of my favorite, and maybe Phuket as well. And actually, I don't like Egypt. Like I will never probably go there, but the experience was amazing. And Phuket, it was like my first time when I traveled somewhere. And I lost my passport in the first day. Like somehow for Thailand people, we all look the same. So there was the woman, I don't remember how old I was, very young, and she was like 50, whatever. And I got the new passport, she got the new passport, and she didn't speak in English at all, and she couldn't fill the form, nothing, and she asked for help. So I helped her, and I gave both my passport to the passport control. So they give them back, and I don't remember how exactly they mixed them up, but we didn't check, because after we have 2 more control, so they check it. And they let me go with a different passport. And I check only at home when I arrive. And I open my passport, and there is like 50-year-old woman. And I'm like, okay. And I don't know where she live, where she stay. And I panicked for like 5 minutes. And then I was like, okay, Phuket, it's not the worst place to stay, If I lost my passport, so what? And I text my mom. I was like, Mom, I think I'm staying in Phuket. She's like, what? And I was like, I just lost my passport. She's like, what? I was like, don't panic. It's all good. We will figure out. But I always like, we will figure out, like, all good. It's okay.
Like this part of you, right? So we all have these voices in our head, right? These voices in our head that tell us things. This is safe, this is good, this is not safe. I want to do this, I can't do this. I'd love to do this, I'm doing this, right? So different voices, and some of the voices are like, you can't do that. They're limiting us. So with you, like, which voice do you listen to and why in your head?
It's my voice.
Just one?
Well, I have a lot of personalities, I think. Kind of like a Billy Milligan or something. They just don't go out like, just separately. We kind of can keep us together, but I have a lot of them, yeah. But it's actually my voice. I just used to lead in our family. I had a feeling that I'm the leader in my family, because my mom, she's like sunflower or something. She's like a baby, and I felt like I have to protect her since I was 4. And my father died like 9 years ago, so we don't have like a leader in the family, and he always was far away. And my brother, he's just different, you know, is artist, musician, and he's not a leader at all. So I used to be this. I used to be a voice in the family, and I used to inspire my mom and tell her, like, everything's gonna be okay, we're gonna go through this. So I just used to listen my voice. And when you listen someone else's voice, it's actually ending up in the, you know, bad and wrong direction. Not bad, but just wrong direction. So you just have to follow. Actually, you have intuition inside. Just learn to listen it. We have, like, all our body, it's working in a very smart way, and our mind as well. And you just have to listen. And I meditate a lot, and I started when I was 6. So kind of weird kid.
6, you were meditating, right?
Yeah.
And so this voice that you followed, like, do you remember how you found that voice? So very quickly, so when I was maybe the same age, probably a little bit older, you know, I had things going on, right? Like most kids, I wasn't comfortable with how I looked, how I sounded, and so many other things. I just wasn't happy with what I saw when I looked in the mirror. Now, at the lowest point for me, a voice came up, and that voice was the first time I heard a very supportive, warm voice, as opposed to the other voices that were dominating my mind at the time, which was like, you're shit, you're not good enough, da-da-da-da. All these voices that were bringing me down because I wasn't happy with who I was. Mm-hmm. Now, this voice that I found was this warm voice, which is like, hey, and it said to me, you know, hey, Rob, yeah, just look after your skin. I was like, what? Yeah, just look after your skin. I was like, that's bloody weird. But I remember, though, what I recognized was it came from a place that was very different from where these voices usually come from, which was hate, fear, mainly fear-based. It felt like love-based, almost like the soul was talking to me. And ever since that time, you know, I've listened to that voice, not always, but that's the one that I tune into most. So now for you, you said you're the leader in your family, right? Your mum wasn't capable. Your dad was away doing all sorts of things. You know, your brother, you know, when he wasn't trying to sell you, doing stuff like this, you know, like he's not of that mind. Yeah. So now you said at the age of 4, you know, you got this understanding that you need to protect your mum, and at 6, you kind of made up your mind. But do you remember, because maybe there's some people watching here now saying, well, I've got these voices in my head. I feel I might be the leader in my family, but don't know how to find that voice, or don't know how to embrace that voice. Or maybe it's like, you know, like I feel like the world is beating me up, right? And I feel like a victim, and I don't want to be a victim. I want to be someone who leads their life, like you. I want to be someone who says, I'm doing this, and I'm going to do it, and I'm going, and I'm not going to be stopped, right? So for those people there, that's where the question's coming from, I think, which is, you know, like, how did you find your voice?
I think somehow my mom involved as well, because I was a leader, yeah, but I didn't like how I looked like when I was younger, and I had like a lot of traumas because my crazy, you know, father and brother, and crazy at that time. But she always was like, you beautiful, you special, you good, so she believed in me, and that's how I believe in myself. For me, like, whatever my mom say, it's truth. Now it's like crazy story, so you will understand how much I believe in my mom. She wanted to see my reaction, like in general, and then we will back to this topic. How I will react if she will tell me that the woman changed, became a man. And she wanted just to check, like, how I will react, how her kid will react. I was like, again, like 5, 6, 7, something like that. So she said that Cher, so sorry, that Cher was a man and he became a woman. And I believed. So I went to my yard and I told everyone that it is like that. And they was like, no, this bullshit. But when I believe in something, I kind of have this, you know, power. So everyone believed. I changed the whole community. So everyone believed that Cher was a man. That's ridiculous. So my mom told me that I am so special, so good, that she believed in me like, you know, like no one. So I really believed in myself. So she built this voice. But she never believed in herself. She's like, I don't know how she did it, but she put everything that she's missing inside me. And it grew. And after that, I was like, no, Mom, you know, I start doing the same. So yeah, I think it was her voice, and from the beginning, just because she's really loved me, like truly, not because I'm her daughter. So yeah, I think it starts from her. But I know, I remember how I explore how to stop having this feeling of insecure or something like that, and to be able to go. I meditate again, Om Shanti, and I went very deep, and I found myself as a child, like my inside child. And I was just talking to her. I was like, what are you afraid of? What do you worry about? Like, what's bothering you? And I just talked to her. And she as well, like 5, 6, something like this age, you know, very vulnerable age. And she answered. And then you have to explain to this kid that nothing gonna happen. I'm here to protect you. Like, I am here for you. Everything gonna be okay. You can be whatever you want. Just believe in yourself. Like, what do you wanna do? Let's do something. And you like spending in meditation, like, I don't know, you can spend like 2 hours, 3 hours, whatever. It's how it goes. And you just play with this kid, and you giving to this kid like feeling of protection, that everything gonna be okay. And we can create, because, you know, it's like imagination world. So you can do whatever you want. And after that, you have this feeling like, whatever happened, like, so what? I can try this, I can try that. I have this feeling of protection because I gave it myself, by myself, this protection to my child inside. And this is really working.
You know, there's a sister, if you're watching, Sister Rhonda Swan from, is it Unstoppable Branding Agency, Sister Rhonda. So they got the Unstoppable family, and their daughter is Hanale, who might be watching. And she, in a way, this story reminds you a little bit about them, because, you know, one thing that she was saying the other day of when they were bringing up Hanale, who's now, I think, late teens, if not 20, late teens. She was saying, you know, most of the time we get stuck into this thing of like, what is it you want to be when you grow up?
Oh,
right?
I still
what
ask
is
this question.
Right, okay, we're coming back to that, right? What does you want to be when you grow up? Which is a very tough question. And so what they did is that, what is it that you want to be now? Right? So very subtle difference, but it's a huge difference at the end, because then it's a case of, you know, a bit like you. It's like, well, I want to be a photographer. Cool. I want to be an artist. Cool. I want to be a ballerina. Cool. I want to go to Egypt. Cool. But it's this thing about, you know, like, what is it you want to be now? And if she's watching Raim, another incredible woman, Raim, so she introduced me to this TEDx talk recently called, it's about what we call multi-potentiality, a multi-potentialite. Now, what does that mean? So multi-potentialite. So the world in general, we're taught right now to be one thing. You dominate that thing. You go ahead and you be that thing, that one thing. But there are those of us amongst us who are good at many things, or good at a handful of things. And this TEDx talk about multi-potentialites is quite interesting, because it sheds light into this area of people which, you know, are not able to do one thing, but do a series of things, and can have success at each one of those things that they do. So when I say to you now, like, multi-potentialite, and there's a guy, another one, Kamal, who was like he termed it as a multidisciplinary or a multi-dimensional artist, right? That's how he describes himself. So using that word, like multi-potentialite, like, what comes up for you in relation to your art and what you do?
I usually call myself multifunctional, actually.
Oh, really?
Yeah.
See, I didn't notice.
Yeah, I always say, like, people asking, what do you do? I'm like, I'm multifunctional. I don't know, whatever inspires me, you know, like, it's just whatever inspires me, I just do that. It's, I don't know, I have the brand of my clothes. I'm making clothes, like, I made this. I paint, I do photography, whatever. I dance, I start singing. I'm not singing yet, so I'm not going to sing right now. But it's one thing that I'm asking grow-up people recently. I'm coming and I'm asking, like, who you want to be when you grow up? And they was like, what do you mean? I was like, imagine that you have, like, endless life. Who you want to be when you grow up? And they started thinking, and he was like, oh, wow, that's interesting. And for me, I realized, like, I always wanted to sing, and I didn't, so I start. And you just inspired by something, you just go there. No one gonna judge you. If they do, don't care about that. It's your life, do whatever you want. Just, it's, you know, it's your art. Just go, just try, just do. And so yeah, I'm multifunctional. I think I can do many things. If I'm inspired, I can do whatever whatever it is. It's just I have to be inspired.
And that inspiration you mentioned before about, you know, this darkness, because, you know, I think we're often taught now, you know, like, find the good, you know, like, it's like we're looking it's like we don't like to really talk about the dark stuff, right?
Yeah, I love it.
We like to avoid that, but the dark stuff is a powerful place to be, right?
Oh yeah.
Okay, so then, like, let's dive in there a little bit deeper. So with the dark stuff, and, like, just giving a cursory glance, meaning looking back at what you've just said, you know, like, you had a lot of darkness in your life, girl. Right? From the home life, and we'll get to other. So like, it comes as no surprise, right? That that's what inspires you in a way. But I guess the thing that also gets me is that, you know, how is it that you were able, you know, despite all of that, to come through it to be the person that you are now? You know, because Crimea, right? So Crimea was part of Russia, is that correct?
No, it was part of USSR. Then we became Ukraine. When USSR crashed, we were Ukraine, and now we're Russia. Yeah.
Got it.
Complicated.
So, yeah, a bit complicated.
But we Russia only for Russia, you know. That's the problem.
Got it. And we'll get to that. So here's the thing, you know. And I remember that you mentioned a story to me. Like, I remember stuff, right, about when you went home to surprise your mum.
Oh my God! Yeah, it was terrible. Like. You want me to tell the story?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Bali vibe. We're coming to Bali.
Bali vibe. Okay. I asked my mom, like, what do you want to have on Christmas? And she was like, and I said, like, send me the list with all your wishes and the prices, so I will understand what I can do with the Santa. And we're really into fairy tale things. So in the first in the first thing was like, I want my daughter home. And she put priceless. And I was like, oh my God, this is so cute. And I haven't been at home like a couple years already. And all this pandemic started, lockdown, everything. And I was like, okay, I have to visit her. So my friend helped me, and we bought the tickets and everything. And first I went to Kyiv, because I had some things to do. But before, I recorded a lot of stories, so I didn't want to tell my mom. I recorded a lot of stories, and I took a lot of pictures of Bali and everything, how I'm walking my wolf and my dog and all these things. So every day, I was 2 weeks in Kyiv. Every day, I put the alarm for 4 a.m. to wake up and put the story that I'm in Bali. So she had no idea. And I said to all my friends, you cannot take a picture with me. I mean, you can, but, you know, because like half Kyiv, my friends, and it's amazing. So, going to the story, to come to Crimea from Kyiv, you have to take a bus. This bus going like 12, 13 hours through the border in the middle of the night with -20. And there is like, can be from 2 till 4 hours checking point on the street. -20, and they asking crazy questions, and they can stop you in ridiculous way. Like, they stopped me because I was looking happy, I was really excited that I'm coming to my mom. She had no idea. I was so, like full of energy and happiness. Like, oh my God, she's gonna be so happy. And I look very weird. I was after the shooting, so I had like a red smoky eye, but red color. I had my favorite hat from Australia, and I just look artistically stylish, whatever, fancy. And they stopped me, and they was like, it's 4 a.m. and they asked me, why are you so happy? And I was like, because I'm happy, I'm going home. And like they checking 1 billion paper that you can come through, that your parents live there, that you have a special passport from Crimea. Like, this is crazy what they're doing there. But they stopped me because, why you look so happy? I was like, I'm going home. No, it's something weird with you. And it's like, why you look so different? I was like, I don't know, because this is my style. I just feel like that. It was like, no, it's something wrong with you. And they check like everything. They was trying to find like money. It's crazy. So you cannot be happy. You cannot enter the country. You cannot enter home if you look happy, because it looks suspicious. So yeah, this is the story. But I reached my mom. She had no idea that I'm coming, and it was like 6 a.m. And it was I entered Crimea, and I didn't have a local SIM card, so I couldn't call to taxi, nothing, no internet. I was trying to find Wi-Fi. Everyone was so rude. Everyone was like, oh, go find somewhere. There is the shop open like in 3 hours. You can buy SIM card. And it's like, guys, can I just call, please? And I spent like 1 hour in the bus stop to find the person who will either give me or give me the phone to call, or will give me money, because I didn't have any money, Russian money, for the traveling. I had Ukrainian, Indonesian, US, whatever, but you just can't. And it cost like less than $1 to catch the bus. So after 1 hour, I found the guy who gave me money for that. It was terrible. I was already not very happy.
And it's early morning. And like, see, one of the things which, we're here in Bali, right? And as we know, Russian, Eastern Europeans are here in Bali, like everywhere in the world at the moment. And so part of this is about empathy. It's about understanding because when you understand where people come from, what they've gone through, like your mum, right? So as you said, she was trying to teach you everything that she wasn't.
Yeah, exactly.
Right? So she's coming from a certain viewpoint and a certain way of life that's led her to become who she is, and she wants something else for you. She wants something different for you. So she went out of her way to try and give you that, and she did very well. Now, so here's the thing. So there are people here that I know, right, who have this view about Russians which, to me, isn't really informed.
Don't tell me we're going to tell about the Russians and Ukraine.
Right, there you go. We're not going to that yet, right? But are really not informed, right? So therefore, like, again, I sit here and I speak to many different people, and I get a sense of who they are from the background that they've had. And the background that they've had gives me exactly who they are now and why they act the way they do.
Yeah.
So then it gives me the sense of empathy, because then I'm like able then to say, well, if I grew up facing what they did, if I grew up with a sense of what happened to them, then I would probably act in the same way, if not worse, if I look at it from a scale of bad, good, whatever, right? So then keeping that in mind, so you went home and, they pulled you aside for being happy.
Yeah.
Right? So then with that in mind, right? So like people here have a negative view. We're not going to go into Russia and Ukraine, because right now most people here see them as the same thing.
Yeah,
right?
Exactly.
So then why would you say that Eastern Europeans here are, people have that view of them, right? Which could be, for example, the women could be, like gold diggers. The guys could be really
the story
rude.
Yesterday, oh my God.
Right? You do notice. There you go. Very, very topical.
It was crazy, yeah. Just one guy invited me for the dinner, and he said like, let's go out for the dinner, and I usually don't. And I said like, yeah, like, why not? Why, I will give a chance just to have a new person in my life. Why not? And I said like, yeah, sure. And he texted me like, yeah, but I have to tell you in advance that we will share the bill. And I was like, this is weird. Like, it's not about the money or something, but you invite the girl out for the dinner. You don't do that. I mean, like, yeah. And he was, and after he, and was like, no, I'm not going out with you because I already think you weirdo. Like, no, I'm not going out with you. And he's like, thank you, you saved my money and time. And I was like, oh, you're welcome, you know, you saved my time as well. Like, I don't know, maybe you're psycho or something. Well, yeah, so what do you...
So why do you think people have that view?
Well, we have like a little bit different mindset, and it's not like we gold diggers or something, but it's by generation they put in our mind that man taking care of women. And it's not like born yesterday, this idea. It's going by generation. It's in the blood. You cannot change it. You can be a little bit more agile, you know, open mind, whatever, but still, for me, even like in our country, Russia, Ukraine, whatever, if the man not paying, for example, a bill and you pay the bill, it means even if you will ask, let's share, if the woman will ask for the man, it's offending. It means like she don't think that he's a man. And I'm being polite, so I'm being polite, pay my bill, because I feel like you're a man, I'm giving you a chance to express, you know, that you're a man. And for us, we love flowers, we love men to open the door for us, we love all these things, and for us it's normal, it's just in our blood. And it's going by generation, and you like... And when European guys like suffering from them and telling like, oh, you have to change your mind, you have to be more open. No, if you like, you choose Ukrainian or Russian women because they are beautiful, right? Like they are. So you choose them because of that, but with this mindset coming as well. So you have to accept it anyway. And it's just, all this was taught from the beginning, generations. Like you cannot change it. Like something you can, but this you cannot. For us men, it's something more bigger. So yeah, it's.
Yeah. And do you think so? The men, Russian men, Ukrainian men, you know, it's the same for them.
For who?
For the Russian men to have this understanding generationally that they have to pay. And
that's complicated questions because some of them, yeah, if they lucky with the mom. Or that, you know, who put this idea in the mind, but not all of them know. But they don't have this, like I never met the Russian guy who will say, let's share the bill. Never in my life. They can be not very respectful in some way. They can be like rude and do stupid things and everything, but they never have this. They still understand, yeah, mostly like in the big picture for them, man, it's someone who take care of the family. Yeah, as well, generations. But, you know, it still can be plus minus, you know, some people not like that, some people more like this, some people unique. But yeah, mostly like in big picture, yeah, the man like that. It's just a culture. I mean, it's a culture. It's like in USA, all women want to be like independent. If the man will try to open door for women, they're like, why are you doing this? I can do it by myself. I will be just happy, open the door for me because I feel, you know, that you care, that you love, that you show the attention. And I love the attention because of your attention, I'm more woman. And because I accepted you more man. And it's very beautiful, you know, the connection. It's like energy starting circulating. And when women like all the time rejecting, of course, men will be like, okay, do whatever you want by yourself. I don't believe in the connection like that. This is weird. For me, it's, you know, it doesn't mean that women should sit at home and do nothing. No. But she can be independent and everything, but she have to accept the power of the man, and man should accept the power of the woman, and you know.
Got it. Thank you for that. And then last question on this topic. So with men, right? So Russian men. So one of the comments that I hear, again, these are comments that I hear, not comments I believe, right? But comments that I hear, just to be very clear, right? Russian men can be really cold.
Oh yeah. Oh,
right.
Yeah.
So if I said that to you, what comes up?
Well, they are. I don't date Russian guys because of that. I don't. I mean, for me, more easy to. I can say like teach, but to show how to be a man around the woman to the guy from USA, for example, or something like that, or Europe, because they really need, they just don't know better. You show them and they like it. They really like it.
Yeah.
For me, it's more easy than change the mindset of the Russian man.
So why is the mindset like that? That's my question now. I'm going to give you a little bit of a steer here, right?
Yeah.
So what I realized through interviewing is Julia Volkova, you might know her, a couple of weeks ago. And so what I didn't realize was that there's been, I think, 3 significant wars in Russia. One was a civil war that decimated the population of men,
Yeah.
right? And with that, and this whole thing about the walls have ears. So during the war, during the civil war, like your neighbor is your neighbor. Like where I'm from, doesn't necessarily play out like this, but where I'm from, in the UK, from London, your neighbor, you knock on the door and look, I'm out of tea and milk. Can I have some? Oh yeah, there you go. Oh. Right? Yeah, right. Whereas
You knock on the door.
this is the point, right? This is why we're talking. Whereas there, what I got from Julia was that, but like tomorrow that guy could be the guy who's calling the secret police, pulling you out, and you're done, you're executed. So like it's like your neighbor is not necessarily your friend.
Yeah.
So you have to have the walls up emotionally, physically, spiritually, all the time.
Yeah.
And this general, I can't say this word today, this generational DNA upload is pulled through there too. Like, so there's a guy, Dennis, if he's around, maybe he's around today. Like, I know this guy is love, man. Like, he's got this exterior that's got, but I know I want to hug him. Maybe not now, right? But I get this extraordinary sense of love from him. Right? And from what I understand, for most people, that's a rare thing. So with the context of all of that I've said, then the question is, then why is it that the generalization is that, Russian men are cold or something?
Well, in Russia, I'm actually Ukrainian, It's a little bit different because in Ukraine, you can knock on the door and we open. Okay. A little bit different still, but pretty much can be the same. It's just in our culture, the man cannot be weak. You don't show emotion. You don't cry. It's just, if you do that, you're not a man. So they taught the man that you cannot be weak. You cannot show your emotion. You have to be strong. So from where, like, they never felt like, they felt loved, but it's still in a different way. You have to hold your emotion inside. And when you hold all your emotion inside all your life, you cannot be very, lovable, very... It's different. They care, but they care it like a piece of rock, or steel or something like that, like Iron Man. They like Iron Man because you have to be strong. You have to protect your woman. It's all about that. And as well, for example, all countries had a sexual revolution. We not. We had a civil war. So they wasn't open-minded or something. They didn't know. That generation, they didn't know how to communicate with the woman in a different way. How to be like open-minded and something like that, because it wasn't allowed. Like sex in that time was very something that you should shy. They don't even. You wasn't able to say the word sex or a condom. In the pharmacy, you buy a thing number 2, because the thing number 1, it's the thing that you put on the face when it's a gas attack. Okay. How you call it?
Gas mask, face mask.
Yeah, so it was the thing number 1. So we go to the pharmacy and you say, like, I need the thing number 1, and they give you this face mask, right now, face mask. And the thing number 2 was the condom, but you say, like, thing number 2. So it's it's a lot. And as sex, it's the place where you actually open all your emotion and everything. It's a beautiful connection between a woman and a man, and they explore. For them, that generation, it was something that you should shy. So they really, and it's not right now, no, but it's still somewhere in the blood, because like he's that, teach his that, and it's like it's coming through still a little bit. So it will take time to open them. And the women more easy to, we're more agile. So that's why I think. I mean, my opinion. I don't know.
Yeah, this is your opinion, and
Only
I appreciate your opinion. Difference. You've said this a few times. So, and I know nothing right on this. So, what's the difference between Ukrainian and Russian in terms of attitude? Because you've asked it, you've put it out there. So now I'm going to ask you the question.
Oh my God. Okay, first of all, language. Okay, language is different. In easy way, just Ukrainians more chill. Yeah. It's like Jakarta maybe and Bali.
Ah, good analogy.
I mean, it's just we like Balinese. We chilled. If you will knock on the door, we will open. I actually can't answer you why, because I have no idea. But and it's not like I don't say that Russians tough and Ukrainians soft. No, it can be, like 50-50. Yeah. You can still meet amazing Russian people. I have like a lot of friends from Russia. I have a lot of friends from Ukraine, and you actually cannot say the difference. But in the main picture, but again, depend from where from. I mean, if compare with Moscow, then people there like really, really angry because they tired of working. They working 24 hours per day, and that's pretty much all the life work. I don't know. Ukrainian just more chill. Ukraine actually for me more like a village, and Russia it's more like a city. And in city you work, you succeed. In Ukraine they just chilled. They happy. They sing the songs, and I don't know. It's even in Kiev it's big village. I mean for me I don't know. Yeah.
Now your phone's off, so you're probably saved by the phone. Now so this is called From Crimea with Love, right? That's what we named this one. And it was I was thinking about Bond. I was thinking about James Bond. Look, sorry, but that's the truth. So
it's very matching me, actually.
Yeah, I know, and it works for you as well. It's just great. You look like a Bond girl.
Oh, yeah.
There you go. So no, I was going to ask you about Bond, but we won't go there this time. So look.
I could be a spy, ballerina, everything.
Yeah, I know you could, right? And you got this fortitude and this inner strength, right? That you do what you want to do, very single-minded. So here's the thing, right? So from Crimea with Love. So when I ask you, like, what does love mean to you?
Oh, wow. That's the really complicated question. Okay, like in general, yeah?
Whatever comes up for you. And by the way, I'll give you some time to think about it. So when I ask these questions, if you're watching here, so like nothing is scripted that you might get an idea about already if you've been watching Speak Up Monday. Nothing is scripted. It's a conversation. That's right. I said your phone. I know. I said your phone went off. So like this is nothing here is scripted. Everything here is what comes up and the energy about what's created here, right? Yeah, sure. Sure. So now Anastasia's phone has gone off, and she's going to fix it. It's the first time that she's done Instagram Live on her phone. How good is that? So guys, if you're watching here, you just tuned in maybe from Instagram or Facebook Live or YouTube Live. So we're watching Speak Up Monday. And today we're interviewing Anastasiya, and she is an amazing artist living here in Bali. And, we're kind of going in a bit of the background about Crimea, where she's from, and certain questions that I've always been really interested to ask, and we've had some incredible answers and responses. So I suggest if you just tuned in, make sure that you watch the whole thing because there's some really incredible answers. So the last question that I asked her, because this is called From Crimea with Love, that's the title today. So I'm asking her, giving her some time, so when I mention the word love, right, what comes up for you? And remember, it's not necessarily always about asking or answering the question. It's that what is prompted, what comes up for you, and share that.
Feeling. I actually was thinking all my life that I know what love is, but I figure out what love is when I got my dog. Then I figure out what love is, because it's something that you unconditionally love. This creature can do whatever and you will still love it. whatever. Like, I wish I could feel something for people like that. I wish I learned how to do that. But I really felt what love is to animals, all of them. Because you really accept them in the way they are. You're not expecting the cat be a dog, or you know, if he's licking whatever he's licking, you're like, yeah, because it's the cat, it's normal. You know, you're not expecting him to go to toilet, whatever, and if he's pee in the middle of the floor, you're like, yeah, it should happen, you know, pee happen, whatever happened, it's normal. So you're just accepting this creature unconditionally. And I think for me, this is love, but I don't know how to learn to love people like that. And this is like really complicated question. But yeah, for me, I understand what love is. I feel unconditional love to animals. And for me, this is love. And to my mom. Yeah, really. This is the only one person who I'm not expecting anything from her. Yeah. I just accept her in the way she is. I know that she's not gonna, I don't know, be like a famous something because it's not her thing. And maybe she will never drive the motorcycle because she's terrified of them. And I'm not forcing her to do that. And I'm just accepting her, whatever she's doing. I don't want to do this, I want to do that. I'm like, okay, mom, do it. Do whatever. Like, this is love for me.
I wonder if you could do that with another guy.
Oh, yeah, I really wish, but I don't know, because there is expectation. Yeah. When I go to a relationship...
Why? Because see, this show is not just about you giving value to these guys and these beautiful people here, but it's also about, you know, uncovering blind spots that we also have within ourselves. I have them, you have them.
Yeah,
it's this thing about a clock, right? So 12 till 1 is the stuff that I know, right? My name, where I'm from, blah, 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 blah.
Yeah.
And then was it then 2 till maybe 3 or 4? This is the stuff that I know that I'm not good at, or know that I don't know, right? Which is, I don't know how to fly to the moon. I don't know how to fly, period, right? Unless I'm jumping off a cliff, right? And then there's 4 till 12, which is like, this is the stuff that I don't know. So the stuff that I don't know. So that question, because to me, you're obviously like a beautiful woman, like I think you're an amazing person, and you know, and your dog will think so too. And how you speak about your mum is amazing, right? So then my question to you is that then, you know, like, what's stopping you from feeling that way about another guy? Now, this is not a question you need to answer now, but it's a question I'd like you to think about, because...
I actually can.
Okay.
I spent like 1 year with a psychotherapist, so the best thing that I did for myself in 2020, I think actually everyone have to find a psychotherapist, like a good one. Mm-hmm. It's really helping. It's not like he's putting the idea in your mind. It's like you open your cupboard and it's like mess there. And he's just showing you that this is the mess, and he's helping you to make order. He's not making order. He's helping you to figure out that this T-shirt's already like 20 years old. Just throw it away. You don't need it. Mm-hmm. So that's it. And yeah, like for me, this is amazing. I think it's still the issues, like, because I didn't have this feeling of protection and, caring from the man in the childhood. I have expectation that someone should do it because I didn't have it. So, and I expect that from the guy, but they should do anything. They don't have to do anything for me. But I cannot, like, I try. I spent like 1 year with a psychotherapist. I'm still calling her sometimes, you know. But it's I still expect that they should be a man. Like, I miss the real man energy. I mean, my father was crazy, but for example, not crazy, but he was not easy person, but he was always keeping his word. If he say something, he will do it, no matter what, he will. And you know, for me, this is a man as well. Like, you say something, you do it, so I expect that the man will be like that. And it's very hard to learn not to do that, to accept them. I don't know why. Maybe I will never be able to do that. Maybe I will. I have no idea, but it's really complicated. So this is my issue. Like, because I expect, I cannot have this unconditional love with the guy. I'm not expect anything from the dog or from my, it's weird to compare a mom and a dog, but anyway. I not expect anything from my mom. you know, I just completely trust her. I know that she will never do anything to make me feel pain or something. She will never do it on purpose. And, you know, it's just, yeah, with the guys, like, she never hurt me. So I don't have this reflex, you know, if you hit someone all the time, next time you just want to catch, I don't know, like, put some water in a plant, but the person, because you put the arm, the person will do like this. So that's why, like, I can't, because when the guy near, I'm already in, you know, protection, and I'm ready to fight, like, just with my reflex.
Got it.
So yeah.
Got it. And look, lastly, because we're getting close. We're getting close. You've done very well, by the way. We're getting very close to the end. So one
I didn't
thing.
notice, actually.
Oh, it's okay. So one thing, you know, again, we all do things. Most of the time, we don't notice because it's difficult to see ourselves when we're. So it's difficult to see the picture.
Oh yeah.
When you're in the frame.
Yeah.
Right? Difficult to see the picture when you're in the frame. So what I notice about you is you use the word complicated a lot. Right? You've said it maybe 7, 8, 9 times.
Oh, wow.
It's complicated. Yeah. So I would encourage you, maybe not now, to look into that. Because, you know, like, actually you see the answers being very simple, not complicated at all. Yet you use the word complicated a lot.
I have an answer for that.
Okay, what's the answer?
When everything easy in my life, I get bored. So I didn't notice, but it's good that you tell me, so I can actually pay attention for that. But like, I know that if everything's super smooth and nice in my life, I will find something, I will build a complicated thing. So I can go through this, I can succeed, I feel good, I feel like it's something happened, and then I can create, or, you know, I'm addicted to competition and complicated things. I have addiction for that. Yeah. That's why probably. Yeah, you see, I'm not hiding all my psycho problems.
Yeah, but it's really important, right? Because part of why we do this, now, those of you watching here, as I said before, there's no like template with this. The questions don't come from me. They come through me, right? I listen, that's what I do. And so the people that are watching now, there are some people who really need to hear what you've said. I don't know who they are, I don't know where they are, but I know that they're there, right? And what you said before about this thing in you that wants to make something complicated, and when things are too smooth, you're like, nah. You know, too easy. You know, I want to make it more complicated.
Yeah.
You know, I think the answer is absolutely there. And like, here's the interesting thing. So a while ago, there's a story. It's a guy called Harv T. Eker, actually, famous speaker. The first time I heard this, and it goes like this. So it's like this. So back in the day, when we were cavemen and cavewomen running around like Neanderthal man, right? Our roles were clearly defined. So the woman was there to bring up and raise the children and be the nurturer. And then the guy was there to go out and get the food.
Hunt, yeah.
And hunt, right? Okay. So the guys go out and hunt. Keep in mind that our brain is a database of the past. Okay, all right. So what happens then is that these guys will go out hunting. There'll be a bush maybe over here, and the guys are like, "Oh, there's a bush. It's okay," you know. And there's a whole going in single file, right? And the guy is walking up. Oh yes, there's a bush, and it keeps running in that direction. And there's a saber-toothed tiger. Now, saber-toothed tigers, if you believe what saber-toothed tigers are, they're not a small thing. These things are huge, fucking huge, right? So what happened is that this saber-toothed tiger would jump out and take a bite out of this guy who's in front. Now, a bite means like a whole head or half the body, because these are big animals, right? So now the guys behind are fearful. That experience gets locked into the database that we call a brain. Yeah. Right. And this goes on through the generations that we've spoken about tonight already. So now we're fast forwarding through the generation from a Neanderthal man to where we are now. So what happens is that our brain is recording all of these things that have happened and available to us like a database of the past, not of the future, but of the past. Okay. Then our brains understood even in that time that our brain, the purpose of our brain is to keep us alive. Yeah. Right? So any experience that could possibly mean that our life is in danger
Yeah. It
The
keeps
brain's
you-
going to go like, hey,
Yeah,
danger here, danger,
exactly.
danger, danger, don't go
Yeah.
there, it's a dangerous thing,
Yeah.
even when it's not. So it's a bit like this. So over the history, growing up, coming through the generations and the years, right, the centuries. So what happens now is that our brain is a bit like, so imagine we're on a ship, and we have a captain, and we have a first mate.
Yeah.
It's a bit like the first mate, maybe the cook, make it easy, it's the chef, right? Not even the first mate. It's like we, the captain, have fallen asleep, and the chef is now running the boat. The chef doesn't know how to run the boat.
Yeah.
Go one step further. Now, that chef is like now a security guard. So he's a chef/security guard. Now, that security guard is now keeping watch while the captain's asleep. And the security guard is like, oh, look, there's an iceberg there. Oh, look, there's something there. Oh, look, and he's warning us. Captain, wake up, wake up, wake up. There's an iceberg over here. We need to avoid it. Cool. Now, what happens is that when that security guard takes control of our mind completely, then we're in a bit of trouble.
Yeah.
Because then what happens is that all we're looking out for is what could possibly potentially kill us.
Yeah.
Even when there's nothing there,
Yeah.
this security guard, and what does a security guard do? A security guard is there to prevent, but also to preempt. Meaning, it's like that car over there, which is driven through a red light, could possibly come and hit us.
Yeah.
So we start to preempt what could happen, and then we move our body and ourselves out of the way because we're trying to keep ourselves safe, out of the way. Now, when there's nothing anymore to be afraid of, what's the next step? The next step.
We'll create it. Like
Exactly.
maybe there is the iceberg. Maybe there is gonna be a car. Yeah.
And that's
And we will wait for it. Like it's too silent. Something gonna happen.
right.
Yeah.
And as you know, where attention goes, energy
yeah,
flows,
of course,
and
yeah.
results are
Yeah.
sure to
Yeah.
follow.
Yeah, I believe in that. Very
Yeah,
much. Yeah.
yeah. So it's a really powerful analogy, and part of this is that through being aware of it, we have the opportunity through practicing awareness when it comes up. So then you get to ask yourself, when you try and do something different, something that's more expansive, right? Often we get the brain coming saying, hey, no, you can't do that. No, you can't. You're going to fail. And if you fail, it's going to end badly for you. People are going to laugh at you. People are going to do this. People are going to do that. You're going to be in trouble. And you're like, oh, shit, I'm not going to do it then.
Yeah.
So then you step back,
Yeah.
right? And I think a lot of the world, especially now, is in that place where it's overactive. So you almost get to the point where you ask yourself, is this something which is likely to end in my death? Is this something that's going to kill me? Yes or no? Someone's like the first question. It's like, well, no. Jumping up on stage and talking is not going to kill me.
Yeah.
All right. And then we start and then this breathing, like I did a breath work camp with Brian Kelly, if you're there, from Brian Kelly, Istana. Amazing guy, he's on the show as well. And this thing about breath work, this thing about calming our anxiety, because when we have a thought that comes up that's fear or anxiety loaded, 20 seconds, if we can withstand it for 20 seconds, that thought is likely just to go somewhere else. It's just coming through us. It's not supposed to be held on to. So, and that 20 seconds is like, well, if I breathe in for the count of 3, let's say if I'm in anxiety or I'm holding my breath, either way, anxiety. And it's like, so if I breathe in for the count of 4, so, and then breathe out for longer than I breathe in, so maybe to count to 5. Through doing that, it slows down the neurological activity in my brain, and it brings my anxiety and level of awareness, level of thoughts down. And then if I can do that in that first 20 seconds, then I get the chance to be really grounded before I make a decision on whether that thing will kill me, whether it's just fear being a database of the past and is not appropriate now. And then I can act in full awareness and in full consciousness of this moment. Yeah, really powerful. Anyway, you brought this up, so there you go. But what comes up for you when I went through all of that?
How to answer that? Well, yeah, I do all this breathworks and everything, actually. But yeah, you mean why I create all these complicated things, or what do you mean?
Well, why do you think you do? Yeah.
Well, it makes me feel alive, you know.
Yeah.
I really into movies. My inspiration live in movies, and it's so many things going on in a movie, you know, action movie or I don't know, fairy tale, whatever. And I always wanted to have a life like that. I always otherwise for me it's too boring. Yeah. And it's these things like you said from the past. Yeah, when something danger happened and you're still alive, you feel alive. You're like, oh my God, I'm alive. Yeah. So when everything too calm, I'm not like expecting something gonna happen. I'm like, why nothing happening? Let's create something to happen so I can feel alive, you know. I can record this. I can, you know.
You know what I find really, really interesting is so you stopped watching television, right?
Yep.
Okay. Yet it's the movies that did it to you. So I grew up, you know, Tom and Jerry, all these, you know, good verses. But here's the thing, you know, about television, tell a vision, right? It's telling a vision.
Yeah.
You know, so interestingly enough, I found that when I was growing up as a kid, I loved movies. I love films. Me and Marina, we still watch movies now. And like, you know, like the thing is this, like movies, especially when you're a kid and you're growing up and you watch, you know, like princess movies, or you watch, you know, these movies that are, in a way, are telling us how to be.
Oh, yeah.
You know, the guy comes and saves the woman and takes her off. The woman
I
does
never liked
this.
that.
Yeah.
So I have when I was a kid, my mom used to read me Japanese fairy tales.
Yeah.
This is already kind of fucked up your brain. I mean, have you ever read Japanese fairy tale? No? Okay. This is all about the spirits, death. It's sometimes it's an ending in a good way, but mostly of the time it's just ending somehow, you know, and it's just Japan, it's amazing. I've never been, but it's my dream. I think Japanese people from other planet, definitely. And Japanese fairy tale, it's crazy. So all the fairy tales that I saw after, I was like, this is weird. Like, why she's just laying and waiting when the guy will rescue her? This is stupid. Do something. I don't know. Go and pet the dragon. Like, just do. Why he kissing her when she's sleeping? She didn't ask for kiss. Like, come on. So I never actually liked that, but when I watch something like a movie or a cartoon, I'm trying to put myself in a character who I like. Mostly of the time it's the main character, of course, but and what I would do. So like I'm very visual. I love reading books a lot still, but I always dreamed to be a film director, and you know, and I like to creating things and complicated things, and yeah, it's just when you watch the movie, you can put yourself in that place, and you kind of already living the different life a little bit. I enjoy my life, but I wonder what if I would be in this place? What if I would be in that place? So if something happened, I already kind of have imagination experience.
Got it.
You know, this is like,
yeah.
And then you can react because somewhere you already saw it, you already imagined that you was in this place, and you already know how to react.
Yeah, you know, like this will be the last question from me, and so I get that you have this extraordinary capacity of love, right? So this from Crimea with love, this title that came, you know, like nothing's by accident, right? There's no coincidence here. This from Crimea with love, right? So you and kids, right? You being a mum, right? Fast forward, right? Here you go. Your friends are probably saying, Anastasia, mum, forget it. Or they're saying, of course, right? So now imagine this. So you can do this one of two ways, right? So you can either see this as what advice would I give to my younger self, right? My early younger self knowing what I know now. Or it could be if I had children, how would I bring them up? What advice would I give them? What would I show them? What would I not show them? What comes up?
I would actually do something like my mom did. Like she did completely opposite because she had like a crazy childhood. So she did opposite. So I don't have this experience. But I had, because of her, even though I have like a crazy shit going on around me, she put me in this interesting bubble of fairy tale and everything, but allowing me to go whatever I want. And I would do the same. I would just believe in my kid, because subconsciously we know what we want when we're born. And we really, like, if you allow the kid to follow this, you can be from above to observe. And you can just hold him to not fall from the cliff, but you cannot prohibit to go there, because maybe he just want to watch, the view. It's not like, oh, it's dangerous. No, wait. You can just hold, like an angel, you can hold it so he will not fall. But you still allowed him to go. Like when I was 4, my mom allowed me to go whatever I want alone in the yard. But she always asked, just tell me where are you going so I can find you. But that's how she put in me the feeling that I take responsibility for my life. No one else. I choose this path. I can't say like, Mom, you say I cannot go there, so it's your fault. Or you say you can go there, it's your fault. No, I choose it. She said, like, do whatever you want. She never even checked my homework. Once I said, like, I don't want to go to the school. And I was like 7 or 8. And she's like, okay, don't. I was like, what if I will never go to the school? She's like, it's your life, do whatever you want. If you don't want to go to the school, don't go. I don't care. I was like, wow. But I went to the school, I decided that I want to be the best, and I was like a really, I was a smart kid. And because I like that, because I choose it, because after your parent not putting the borders, he was like, okay, what I want. It's like the whole open area, and he was like, where I want to go. When you put all these borders, the kid's like, I want to go whatever, just let me go. And they start doing stupid shit. Because, it's like you put in a cage and then you open the creature, you open the cage and the creature want to escape and just do crazy things because he's, oh my God, I'm free. When it's actually the open area and you free, do whatever you want, you're just like, okay, what I actually want to do. And then you just come and you sit, it's like, I want to try this. I want to try that. So I would be exactly the same, I think. Maybe a little bit more tough because I'm not so soft like my mom. But I would give completely like freedom of choices, because I want them to, I'm not planning to have any kids, but if it happened, I want them to understand that they're taking responsibility for their life, not me.
Got it. Beautiful. Thank you, Anastasia, for being so open to this, right? It was funny because you asked me earlier on, how does this work? What questions are you going to ask me? I said, I have no idea what questions I'm going to ask you. The questions are just going to come up. And when we go from there, right? And you've been tremendous. Like, you've been unlimited, unrestricted. And I really appreciate that because, quite often we can put ourselves in a space of like, I can't say that, I can't do this, I can't, and you haven't been like that at all. I haven't felt that. So I really appreciate it. And in about a minute and a half, roughly, you're going to have, how we end the show is with the guests saying anything that either maybe you've said it before that you think is important just to leave people with or leave you with, or it could be something that pops into your head that you think is important right now, or it could be something else, right? So in about a minute and a half, let's have a think. You're going to have the chance to say that, and then once we do that, then we'll end the show there. All right? So you have a think. So for you at home, thank you for watching. Thanks for tuning in. So you've been watching Speak Up Monday with Anastasiya. Is it
Otkidach.
Otkidach. There you go. Otkidach.
You just say trigger.
I know, trigger. Anastasia, trigger. Right. So now, as you know, we're now award-winning for motivation. It's so important right now. We have a lot going on in the world right now. To find that space within ourselves, of truth and of strength and power. Now, power doesn't need to be in a masculine way. There's balance, right? So masculine and feminine, but have this sense of self. And, we've had the guys from Yogi Lab here, from Meditation Dave, Aaron, pronounced it right, Sasha, and Micah, or Michael, there you go, did it right. And finally, AJ. Now, meditation, we've spoken about it before. I'm not a meditation junkie, but I am a meditation junkie, right? I think it's so important to access those inner places, those inner worlds, and really get a sense of who we are. And right now, I think we need that more than ever, so we're not then steered on someone else's ship, right? So if you haven't watched those episodes, go to YouTube, Robert E. and Bonnick, Speak Up Monday, right? Speak Up, all one word, Speak Up Monday, and search for those episodes with Yogi Lab, or just type in Yogi Lab, actually, Yogi Lab into Google, and you're going to come up with everything you need. Super powerful. And what else have I got to say? So tomorrow morning, we've got the Clubhouse version, 7 a.m., that's Bali time, 9 a.m. Sydney time, and 4 p.m. if you're watching from the US. 4 p.m. Monday afternoon, right? Because they're a day behind. And Renee is amazing. Renee Reich, 4-time best-selling author, women's empowerment coach, extraordinary human being. So if you're on Clubhouse, just come and look for Speak Up Monday Club, and Q&A Club, that's it, and come and join us. And then on Thursday, Paulina's another Eastern European, I forgot to tell you, you've been a model and a photographer, she's been a model and has an agency and all that stuff. Lord knows what we're going to talk about, but it will be insightful and motivation will come out of it. That's on Thursday, and that is at, I think, 6 o'clock our time, but just check the Instagram, Speak Up Monday, or make sure you're part of the group, Speak Up Monday group on Facebook. So Speak Up Monday group on Facebook, all right? So in the meantime, take a breath. Right. So now I'm going to hand over to Anastasia to see us out. Thank you for watching. Thank you for the team here. You know who you are. I really appreciate you, Itchy, Bella. You guys are amazing. So now I'm going to pass on to Anastasia to see us out.
Okay, what I would like to say, right now it's like a very tough time for everyone, and we handling in a different way. And I just notice like a lot of friends like having a depression, or they sad, or they worry, and they really punish themselves that they're doing this. And I would say, stop it. I mean, it's normal, you're human. You can be sad, you can be depressed, you can have all these feelings, you don't have to be happy 24 hours per day. Like in the big picture, you're happy in general, But don't be concentrated on all this bad thing happening, and just, if you feel sad, it's okay. And I want them like really chill, like guys, chill, it's okay, whatever you feel, whatever you're doing, stop thinking what other people thinking about you, because they actually don't care. Well, someone criticize you, they actually criticize themselves through you, because they don't feel confident, because they probably really want to try it, but they don't feel like they will succeed or something. So they trying to push you through this, they're trying, to bully you in this. And just stop reacting, just accept yourself in all the ways you are. It's really tough time right now for everyone, but I'm okay with that sometimes I know, like, Instagram, super happy place. Everyone look at filters. We all look beautiful, happy, and everything. But I don't know. Like, it's okay to, like, one day per week. Sometimes I cancel my Instagram. I even delete the app, from my phone, so I not go there all the time. Just really accept everything happening, because we cannot change anything right now. We can't. And go inside. If you cannot go outside, go inside. Read the book, spend the day in the bed, watch the Netflix. It's okay. If you watch the Netflix 1 week, it's still okay. It doesn't mean that you have this degradation or whatever. It's still okay. It's just, that's all I want to say. It's just, guys, chill. And accept yourself. Like, that's it.
Beautiful, darling. Thank you very much.
Thank you.
Thank you. Blessings, guys.
Bye-bye.
Now we do the Bali style. Right? Thank you, darling. I appreciate it. Thank you. Now we're still live on there and there. So the next thing to do is that we get up. Stretch our legs. All right, now, because you haven't done this before, so we're going to show you how to do this so you don't take it off, even though the first one. So the first thing we do...
Mine actually in the prison.
Okay, good. So what we'll do, right? Yeah, just you have to got that,
I'm not
and
sure.
so you can see now, right? So we can sit on this table. All right. So come back here, right? And say, Anastasia, you're amazing. Thank you for doing this, guys. And thank you for tuning in, Sister Anastasia. It's been a pleasure. And look,
Thank you so much.
and look, what we're going to do is...
Finally having me.
I know. So what we're going to do is, so here, so we're going to wave everybody, right? So what you do is you just press that wave button.
Okay.
Yeah, and then scroll up, and you can talk to, because everyone's watching you now, so you can talk to them and say, hey guys, it's been great. All right, so you wave, thank everybody, wave.
Wow. It's a lot of waves.
Waving. Waving. Sheepers. Waving. Still waving. A lot of waves. Waving. You know, I was really happy we got to speak about so many things there, and I can't wait to look back at it and have a look again. Thank you everybody for tuning in.
Thank you guys.
Tomorrow on Clubhouse, right, 7 a.m. Renee Reich, incredible person, great human being. So tune in, 7 a.m. It's on Clubhouse. I know it's early, but it's worth it. I know.